Hi, my name is Josh Udy. I'm the Elementary Mathematics Curriculum Manager for Houston Independent School District. In this video, I'm going to walk through the mathematics problem-solving board and talk about the 7 different components that comprise it. Before I do so, it's important to mention that every component on this board is aligned to the process standard, revolving around students setting up a problem, understanding it, solving it, going through the problem-solving process. The first component of the board is having the students rephrase the question in their own words. This is very simple. The students need to be able to read the question, read the stem, read the question, and then restate what the question is asking for in a sentence format. For example, the students might have a question that says, which team won the race? The students would write, the blank team won the race. In this way, the students have framed and structured their thinking so that as they go through their problem-solving model, they don't forget to go back and answer what the question is actually asking. The second component of the board is analyze the information. One of the most critical things that students need to do at this section of the board is figure out what the known and unknown information is in the problem. They need to be able to see what information is critical, and if there's information provided that isn't critical, that they know they don't need to use that. After students have analyzed the information and rewritten the question in statement form, they're ready to move to the third component of the board, which is formulate a plan or strategy. In this section of the board, students think about operation. How are they going to get the answer? Students will also need to think about which steps they're going to take to get there, and specifically which strategy they will use. It's also recommended in this component of the board for students to use estimation to come up with a reasonable solution before starting on actually solving the problem. After the students have formulated their plan and thought about what their strategy is going to be, they're ready to move into the fourth section of the board, which is determining a solution. It's pretty simple. Students need to follow that plan step by step, executing along the way their strategy, and then determining what the correct answer is. Once students arrive at what they hope and believe is the correct solution, they're ready to move to the fifth component of the board, which is justifying their solution. This is where students ask, how can I prove that my answer is correct? They can do this one of several ways, but one way in particular is they can reverse the mathematics that they did. If they had to add to get the correct solution, they can subtract to see if they get back to the original number. Or they can choose to solve it with a completely different strategy. Perhaps I use the standard algorithm for addition and subtraction to get to the answer, but I realize that I can also decompose the numbers by place value and add them up a different way. As long as students can prove their answer using mathematics, they've completed this section of the board correctly. Once students have justified their solution, they move to the sixth component of the board, which is evaluating the problem-solving process. Please note that this section of the board is not about evaluating whether or not their answer is correct, but it's actually about evaluating the process they use to get to their solution. In this section of the board, students focus on whether or not their strategy was effective. Was it even efficient? So we're thinking efficiency and effectiveness. Did they take the long way to get to the solution, or did they select the strategy that got them there the easiest route? A critical component of this section of the board is that students have the opportunity to compare their solution and their solution strategy to the solutions and solution strategies of their peers. You may consider putting students into groups and allowing them to compare their strategies and plans to their peers. And at that point, they can analyze, debate, and communicate about whose strategy was the most efficient and where they could make improvements in what they did. After students have evaluated their problem-solving process, they're ready to move to the final component of the board, which is determining whether or not their solution is reasonable. It's important at this component for students to look back to their initial estimation. Is their final answer close to their estimation? And moving back even farther, does their answer make sense in the context of the question? Once students are able to explain that they know their answer is reasonable, they've completed the board. This summarizes the 7 components of the mathematics problem-solving board. Don't forget that every student is different, and the way they put information onto this paper may look different. The critical thing to remember is the student's thinking and their mathematics involved. We hope that this video has helped you as you continue to work out problems with your students in the classroom.